Welcome into Clippers Countdown as your LA Clippers are in Toronto taking on the 25-17 Raptors. One of the surprises in the East this season with them being a top 4 seed currently and a top 5 defense in the league. Something the Clippers are working their way back to, where after a 6-21 start, they have won 11 of their last 13 and have the number 1 net rating in the league over that time, with another victory on Wednesday night where they made the Washington Wizards disappear.
Star runs him off the line. Lopez turns the corner, gets downhill, hammers it with the left hand. It's a big man slam from Brook. Harden with a left-handed dribble with the left elbow, picks up speed, lob it up. Yannick on a platter with a two-handed punch. Harden right wing, steps back, the three. Yes, sir! 11 first quarter points for the Beard. Miller at the free throw line, steps around Carrington and finishes with a left hand. What a move! Jordan Miller, all the finesse in the finish. Miller finds Kawhi straight away, fires the three, and sticks it. 22 for Kawhi Leonard. He has scored 20 at least in now 22 straight games.
Kawhi Leonard with 14 of his 33 points in the fourth quarter. The Clippers got 16 from Yannick and 14 from Jordan Miller in their 119-105 victory Wednesday night at Intuit Dome over the Wizards. And here was Coach Lou postgame on winning despite the injuries and how difficult it's been to overcome them.
Every night's tough. Every night's tough. The style of play that's now in the league, playing fast, playing with pace, getting to the next actions, sprinting the screen, slipping out, So, every night we got to be prepared. And, our young guy stepped up, Jordan Miller again. I thought Young was really good. And so just coming off the bench, giving us that energy we needed, I thought was huge for us tonight, especially when we didn't think we had a lot in the tank. Kawhi was a little slow, James a little slow, KD as well. So, for our bench to come in and play the way they did, it was huge for us, and Nico as well.
Even less in the tank tonight. Kawhi Leonard unavailable. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors from Scotiabank Arena. Tip-off is just about 59 minutes away. Coming up here in your pregame show, you're going to hear from the head coach in Toronto, Lou. Lob Murray of The Athletic will also join me. But up next, it's your radio voice of the Clippers, Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip-off is just about 40, make it 56 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. It is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show for your Los Angeles Clippers. Still to come, you're going to hear from the head coach in Tyronn Lue. But first, join the show from Toronto would be your radio voice of the Clippers, Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, how we doing?
Double A, it is so good to hear your voice. I'm doing great. The Clippers made it to Toronto despite, I don't know if you've heard, there's been an incredible snowstorm here. So there was some wind, some cold weather. The Czar's flight got canceled. He flew commercial. He couldn't make it. He had to drive from Niagara Falls to get here earlier today. But I think for the Clippers, made it safe and sound, and I'm happy considering they've won 4 in a row.
Yeah, hopefully they can stay hot. Well, I heard it's 25 degrees outside the arena right now. This Clippers team without Kawhi Leonard tonight. More on that coming up, but I do want to go back to what happened on Wednesday night, where the Clippers have won 11 of 13 after a 119-105 victory over the Washington Wizards. We talked about and we heard from Coach Lue post-game mentioning the young guys and how big they've been over this stretch, but in particular, that ball game against the Wizards, Yannick Conan Niederhauser steps up with no Ivica Zubac. Brook Lopez is in the starting lineup. He gets called up, plays 23 minutes, and goes 7 of 7 from the field, Carlo.
Yeah, he was huge in that game. I mean, Yannick continues to be impressive for the Clippers, able to get in pick and rolls, be quick with his decision-making. And as he talked about post-game, Adam, the game is easier when you play with guys like James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Now, why? Well, probably because he's open all the time. There's a lot of space on the hardwood. And so when he's setting a pick, the ball handler, which is usually Harden or Kawhi, is going to be doubled. That leaves a wide open Yannick Conan Niederhauser. And I thought it was interesting and very accurate. Something you brought up in the broadcast, Adam, is that he has a level of athleticism at the center position that the Clippers have not had in quite some time. It's almost incredible how Lawrence Frank was able to construct this center depth. I mean, you got 3 guys who play 3 completely different styles of basketball, and Yannick adding maybe that athleticism, that ability to run up and down the floor, and a quick rim runner gives the Clippers opportunities and really a lot of lobs to him on a platter.
Kobe Sanders was in the starting lineup, as he will be tonight. 4 of 8 from the field, had 11 points, continues to be steady with his offense, but Coach Lue has stressed how good he's been on the defensive end, especially when Chris Dunn is out of the ballgame.
Yeah, they've needed it from him. You're talking about a guy who's measured at 6'7". He's got elite length and size, really can move well on the lateral side. And something that he focused in all of pre-draft was being better on the defensive side of the ball. He knew it was a knock against him. He knew he had to improve in that part of his game. And he has done a fantastic job of keeping things steady for the Clippers when he's out there, and Chris Dunn is on the bench. And then also, Adam, just in his starts, he's been incredible. The 5 starts this season he's averaging 13 points a game on 46% from the field. He's been efficient. He's been effective for the Clippers. But most importantly, he's been consistent. And we've heard that from Jordan Miller and a couple of the young guys throughout this season. It's not about maybe making the highlight play. It's about, can you be steady, and can the head coach know what he's going to get every time he puts you on the floor? That's been key for both Miller and Kobe Sanders.
Yeah, Jordan Miller with 11 points. I misspoke, said 14 earlier. He's been averaging about 14 the last couple of weeks for them with a couple of key scoring output games, but was 5 of 10 from the field against Washington back into its own Wednesday night. Had a great move where he went behind his back, through his legs, then to the crossover on the left side, going left. Just absolutely putting it all together right now. A little bit of an and one mixtape there that got a lot of notice on social media, but Jordan Miller also better with his defense, which is helping him stay on the floor.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy, Adam, and it really doesn't get talked about enough? The Clippers are winning games right now with 2 two-way guys playing significant minutes for them. I mean, Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders, like we often forget, are on 2-way contracts because how good they are, how consistent they are, how well they play. But the Clippers are getting huge productivity from 2 guys on 2-way contracts who actually are going to run out of games available coming up. And the Clippers have to make some roster decisions in how they can figure out a way to keep Kobe Sanders and Jordan Miller, because as Ty Lue says, we need those guys. And he's hoping that they get signed. So for the Clippers, an interesting situation. But again, a credit to Ty Lue being able to put those guys in opportunities to be successful, and a credit to the entire front office. I mean, Lawrence Frank and everybody around him, and an elite group that was able to put together this roster. Mark Hughes, Trent Redden, I mean, just a fantastic job by the Clippers to find some incredible depth. I mean, when Bogdan Bogdanović and Derrick Jones Jr. go down, you wonder, well, where's the defense and the offense going to come from? Because Bogey was huge off the bench for the Clippers. Derrick was huge off the bench for the Clippers on defense. And now those 2 guys have stepped up despite being on 2-way contracts.
Yeah, this Clippers team, the Stay Ready group, is still intact as it has been for the last 6 or 7 years here. They're going to need them to step up big tonight. They are taking on the Toronto Raptors 6-7 in Toronto. Tip-off is just about 50 minutes away. Coming up next, Carlos got his one-on-one conversation with the head coach in Tyronn Lue as you're listening to Clippers Countdown right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers tipping off from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, just about 47 minutes away here on Clippers Countdown. Welcome back. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. We'll also get your player to watch, and Law Murray of The Athletic will be here. But first, we're going back over to your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez.
Thanks so much, Adam. Here with head coach Tyronn Lue before the Clippers take on the Toronto Raptors. Coach, today is game 41. After this, you'll be officially halfway through the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What have you learned through this season?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, our team, a lot about our coaching staff, and just our ability to work through tough times. We started the season, nobody in the world nobody in this organization would thought we started the way we would start. But, I give our guys credit, all of our players, but, the way Kawhi and James, our two leaders have stepped up and taken the game to another level to help us, try to get out of this funk has been amazing. And I think our coaching staff has done a great job. Those guys are in there every single day with our young guys, with older guys, just getting better every single day. And just fighting through the tough times. And we were able to do that. And so now we just got to take it one game at a time.
Yannick had 16 last game, and he said post-game it's a lot easier to play with guys like James and Kawhi. You were a young player who played with future Hall of Famers. What is easier about playing with elite talents when you're just getting into the league?
Because they're probably going to leave you open, So, I was able to get a lot of wide open threes from playing with Shaq and Kobe, and they're going to double team those guys. They're going to show them a lot of attention. So you're going to be the one that, gets the open shots if you play the right way. And so Yannick was able to, like I said, his energy, his speed that he brought to the game, rolling, getting behind the defense, offensive rebounds. I just thought he played an all-around great game.
Just two more for you, but in the last 30 days, James and Kawhi have more combined ISO points than 28 of the 30 teams. What has led to them being so efficient in isolation?
I think, every day just working on our spacing. We got to give those guys space. Like you said, they are two of the best ISO guys in the league, so it's got to be a fine line of when we want to ISO, when we wanted to, play a different style of basketball, but giving those guys space, which we work on every single day. And we still got to improve on it, but we are getting better at it.
Last one for you. not really talked about part of this team is you're number one in free throw percentage. You were 27 for 27 in your last game. Would you like to see them get to the line more? You're 15th in attempts per game, or is it you like the balance you have right now?
No, I would love to get to the line. Anytime we can get to the line and slow the game down and get our half court defense set, I love that a lot. So just got to continue to just keep attacking the paint, attacking the rim, and things are going to happen.
Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Carlo Jimenez there with Coach Lou pregame as we're 45 minutes away from tip-off in Toronto. Clippers taking on the Raptors. I'm Adam Osland, and coming up next year on Clippers Countdown, we're going back in time on Clippers Rewind. You're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Raptors from Toronto. Tip-off is just about 42 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Coming up, we got Lob Murray on the show. We'll also get your player to watch. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. Just about 12 years ago to January 25th of 2014. In theaters back then, we had Lone Survivor, the first ride along with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, the song Timber, with Noah Eagle's favorite Pitbull, and Kesha was everywhere on the radio. And the Clippers were in a shootout in Toronto.
Crawford now right of the circle, picked up by Hayes. Dances on the dribble, trying to cross him over. Rise and fire from 19. It is good. Back-to-back buckets for Jamal Crawford. Crawford straight away for three. No, you've got to be kidding me. Crawford pours it in. Clippers 100. Raptors 97. Lowry on the left elbow, right side over to Ross for three in the tie. What is happening here? 9 threes for Terrence Ross and a career-high 43. The clock starts. What a game tonight for the Clippers. I thought it might be a defensive battle. It was anything but. The Clippers with 12 threes, led by Jamal Crawford, who had 37.
Yeah, Brian Seaman on the call there. Game was absolutely insane. Terrence Ross finished with 51 points, Human Torch, 10 3-pointers. Jamal Crawford, as Brian said there, had 37. And, oh, yeah, the Clippers went on to win 126-118 back in Toronto on January 25th of 2014. Clippers taking on the Raptors tonight. Tip-off is just about 40 minutes away. Up next, your player to watch. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip-off just 38 minutes away here on Clippers Countdown. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. Still to come, your injury report, and then Law Murray of The Athletic will be here. But first,
this is LA Clippers basketball.
Watching this guy play right now is really something.
Players to watch.
injury update spoiler. John Collins is available in this ball game. Hasn't played since Monday when the Clippers won 117-109 over the Charlotte Hornets. Got a big victory last night. That step back by LaMelo was something. DeAndre Ayton, where are you? This is a big game for John Collins because without Kawhi Leonard, they need some of that scoring we had been seeing for about a 3-week period where John Collins was averaging a very efficient 20 points per game. Also playing much better defensively during that time, averaging 2 blocks per game, about 5 or 6 boards in there. They need him. His explosiveness, his motor. This young Raptors team is tough. I need some of that John the Baptist out there, baptizing guys. You know, I say hashtag JC saves with John Collins. He could save the Clippers in this ball game, even without Kawhi Leonard. They are down some players. They are down their best player. They are not out of this one. I think the Clippers with John Collins have a great chance to get a surprise victory in Toronto. Tip-off just about 36 minutes away here. Coming up next on Clippers Countdown, your full injury report. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip-off just about 34 minutes away here on Clippers Countdown. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we got Law Murray joining the show from The Athletic. First, though, your injury report. Bad news is Kawhi Leonard is out with that right ankle sprain he's been playing through. My guess is he'll be back on Monday. This would give him 4 days off between games, going back to Wednesday's win against Washington. Good news is John Collins available, dealing with right groin soreness. Ivica Zubac's available. Looks like he's going to be playing through that left ankle injury that plagued him a little bit earlier in the season. Rolled it again a couple of games ago. As for the Toronto Raptors, no R.J. Barrett in this one. He has his own left ankle injuries going on. Jakob Poeltl out with lower back strain. Emmanuel quickly out with back spasms as well. So both teams missing some guys. Clippers with a big opportunity to get a huge win over the Toronto Raptors in Toronto. Tip-off 33 minutes away. Clippers and Raptors. And up next from The Athletic, it is Law Murray. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to Clippers Countdown right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip-off just about 30 minutes away here on Clippers Countdown. And you know what? While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. I'll join the show right now is a man who made the trip from the Athletic to Toronto in Law Murray. At Law Murray, the NU is where you find him, and right now you find him at Scotiabank Arena. Law, what's good, my friend?
I'm here. I can say that.
You made it.
I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to be through the snow, and yeah, it's good to. This is my last arena, man. I've been to every arena now, so that's cool.
Okay, right on. Kawhi Leonard, unfortunately, doesn't get the homecoming he typically would get, having won them a championship in 2019. Won't be playing in this ball game. I just speculated last segment that this could give him 4 days off till they play again on Monday. Do you think this is something that may have been scheduled with his ankle injury?
I was hoping that wasn't the case. I told that dude he needed to play tonight. So don't blame me. I told him I'm trying to be in Toronto. I need you to be there. So he's here, but he's not playing. So I asked Teron Lue before the game about what this means, him not even being a game time decision, because obviously he's played as a game time decision in Brooklyn, in Detroit, and the 2 home games against the Hornets and the Wizards. And, he didn't look 100%. He was on a minute restriction. He played really well, but him not playing, it's a back-to-back Monday and Tuesday. Forget 4 days. It's like there's a chance that he doesn't play on MLK Day either and gets back out there in Chicago and goes from there. So we'll have to see. I don't think anyone's too worried. He's on the trip, obviously, but it's annoying. I will tell you that much. It's annoying for me, and I'm sure all these fans here would have liked him to play. He needs to do what he needs to do to be healthy, and that's it. That it is what it is. I definitely would have preferred him not playing Wednesday and playing today, but it's not my choice. And who knows if it's Kawhi's choice, to be honest with you.
So let's at least talk about how he has been playing. I thought you asked a great follow-up Wednesday night after he dropped 14 of his 33 in the fourth quarter against Washington, and everybody was asking him questions about being playoff Kawhi because you talked with Coach Lou about that, and he mentioned he looks like playoff Kawhi right now. And you brought up how is it more weight because Coach Lou has said it. It's not just the media here. Why do you think Kawhi Leonard likes to downplay all that talk and the title of playoff Kawhi?
Because it's who Kawhi Leonard is. I don't think Kawhi has ever been the type to talk about his own accomplishments or his own ability, or especially, I think the reason why this was sensitive in particular is his mentality and mindset are the same for every game that he plays. I mean, that's what he was telling us on Wednesday night. Whatever playoff mode is, I think he's trying to be in that mode all the time. The difference is you're seeing an elevated level of Kawhi because it's required for this team to win. Usually, for most teams Kawhi Leonard's been on, you don't need that and you don't get that until the playoffs. This Clippers team is playing playoff games in December and January because of how bad their season was for 7 weeks starting in November, starting with him being hurt against the Miami Heat. So if that makes sense to Kawhi, it's like what Kawhi has been willing to talk about is he has to do a lot for this team to be good. Even now, while they're winning games, he has to do a lot just to play. He can't rest in the fourth quarter. He can't let someone else have it because those players aren't capable of going off. Like even with James has been flagging for a good while here. And so Kawhi being great has led to wins. But Kawhi will tell you, instead of discussing what version of himself people describe him as, he would just rather be in a good spot in the standings and be able to chill right now so that they could win a championship. And instead, things have shifted where it's like they're playing urgent level of basketball just to have a chance to be in the play-in tournament at this point.
You mentioned with Coach Lou earlier, you asked him the question about, is Kobe Sanders in the starting lineup? Yes, he is. How would you evaluate him as a starter in these fill-in spots so far this season?
I think Kobe does really well when he's playing with confidence, making shots. But what I've noticed, and again, when you write about a player, you're a little bit more sensitive about what happens after you write about them. Like my man had 20 points against the Warriors, and I don't know if he's had 20 points since then in all the games he's played combined. So if he does, then great, but it doesn't feel like it. He does. So tonight's another opportunity where, you know, when he had those 20 points, it came with guys, you know, he needed to have those 20 points. Like it was a very, very important night for him. So I think this is a situation where, you know, obviously James Harden is playing without Kawhi. He's going to need some help. Kobe Sanders represents that level of assistance. He's got to be good. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to, you know, not be deterred by the guys defending him. The Warriors play defense very similar to the Raptors. They're hunting for steals. They will foul you. They will put you on the free throw line. And so if Kobe Sanders, if you get the best version of Kobe Sanders, it's loud. He can score on 3 levels. He can get to the paint. He can pull up in the mid-range. He can hit his catch and shoot 3, and not just with his feet on the line. He can make decisions as a passer. But the worst version of Kobe is a player who just is mistake-prone, turnovers, fouls. You're getting a player who can play through those mistakes because, as Nicholas Batum said, there ain't nobody else. He's got to do it. He's got to play. He's got to be the person who can put up numbers with the volume that he's going to get.
We've talked a little bit about Jordan Miller, but he continues to play well, and Coach Lou stressed out his defense and his playmaking has been better as of late, and that can keep him out there on the floor. Just how big of an opportunity is this stretch right now going on with Jordan Miller? I mean, he's 26. He may be young in the league, but he's not a young player.
He is a young player, you know, like, yeah, he played the same with Kobe. Those guys played 5 years in college, you know, and you get a chance to be a rookie. You get a chance to build and improve off of that rookie year. Year 3 is when you have to show that you belong, and not just like belong in the league, but belong on the court. You know, like Jordan Miller is a player who belongs on the court, but he's got to show that consistency. That's what he mentioned Wednesday night when he had his first double-double. And, I mean, the rebounds are nice. he had never had more than 6 rebounds in a game before Wednesday. And the Wizards are the worst rebounding team in the league. You got the Raptors here tonight. Do it again. Don't just show that you can play well against one team. Show that you can be a guy who teams are going to pay attention to when you come into the game and start playing well. I remember last year when Norman Powell hurt his hamstring, Jordan got a chance to play in the rotation. And you know what? Jordan played pretty well for like a week or two. And then eventually teams got used to the fact that Jordan Miller was going to come into the game. He likes to go left. He likes to get to the paint. He likes to draw fouls. And I remember the game in Denver during the NBA Cup period where they had 4 days off before that, and he tries to go right at Russell Westbrook, and Russ strips him. And, I don't know if Jordan even scored in that game. And it's like, I don't think Jordan got another real shot again. You need to be healthy. You need to be ready to play. You need to show you can do it. The next step is showing that you can do it repeatedly over and over when guys know you're playing. The Raptors know Jordan Miller's playing. He got to play well, and the Clippers need it if they're going to come out of here with a dub.
If Yannick Conan Niederhauser was in a different situation, kind of like Kalkbrenner is in right now with Charlotte, would he be ready to be getting 20-plus minutes a game?
Maybe. It depends on what that situation is. I mean, shoot, even Ryan was starting, and then he got hurt, and then the Hornets started feeling out what worked and what didn't work. And when guys started getting healthy, now Moose is starting over Ryan, And so that doesn't mean Ryan's a bad player or he fell off or has hit the rookie wall or anything like that. It just means that you go through ups and downs, ebbs and flows as a rookie, and you just got to be ready for all of it. And with Yannick, it's like he was a surprise first-round pick. If the Clippers didn't prioritize him, he wouldn't have been a first-round pick. He was literally the last pick of his first round, Yes, he was drafted over guys like Kalkbrenner and Reynaud, guys who have gotten more opportunities to do things. I know a lot of Clipper fans wanted Rasheer Fleming because they thought that the Clippers needed a power forward and that the outline of the player Rasheer could be was a player that could be used now. Look at Phoenix, a team that doesn't have a traditional power forward getting a lot of minutes, and Rasheer Fleming does not play for them. So you have to look at everybody's situation in a case by case. I can say that there are teams where Yannick probably plays more, but who knows if the playing is good for him. And there are teams that Yannick still would be mothballed. He probably would be playing even more in the G League, right? And so this Clippers team wanted to make it so that Yannick was ready to play, but also that if he wasn't playing, that he'd be getting some runs, staying in shape, getting an opportunity, because he needs experience. He played at Penn State last year. The year before, he played at Northern Illinois. And the year before, he was not on anybody's radar, okay? So Yannick is a guy, he's another one. When you look at his age, you're going to be like, oh, the rookies are usually younger than him, or there's a lot of rookies younger than him. But when you look at experience and what he can grow into, he's a baby as far as I'm concerned when it comes to basketball. So he wants to learn. He's got a really good head on his shoulders. He's focused. But he might not play tonight in Toronto because Zoo's starting and Brook Lopez is here. So it is what it is. And his job is just to be ready whenever his opportunity comes.
Should we take a lot out of the fact that Zoo's already back, even though it was the same ankle that kept him out for a bit before?
I think the fact that he's playing is a good sign, and that's kind of where I'll leave it. It's unfortunate that he couldn't finish the game Monday and that he missed Wednesday, but he's out here. He looked ready to go. I don't expect him to be too limited, and hopefully he comes out of this game healthy.
Is John Collins, he hurt himself in the layup line the other night pregame?
We've seen that plenty of times before. How many late scratches? I literally have a hashtag late scratch season. You can click on it and you can refer to all the Clippers who have missed games that we thought were going to play after the coach spoke the couple hours before the game. So nothing new. Like, John's going to play. He's not going to start. And honestly, I think a lot of that has to do with the matchup. Maybe you don't see Brook Lopez tonight. Sandro Mamukelashvili is the backup center. The starting center situation in Toronto is kind of strange. You got Colin Murray-Boyle starting, and the Toronto Raptors are not asking their centers to post up or do anything in terms of being interior based. So you might see a lot of John Collins at the 5 tonight, like as a true 5, not necessarily with Zoo or like John's going to be needed tonight because the way the Raptors play, you're going to need you're going to need to match up with what Murray Boyles does as a starter and what Mamukelashvili does as the backup, and even Jonathan Mobo if he plays.
With all the guys the Raptors have out, but they're positioning right now in the East, they're 4th. Like, how good is this team? What's their ceiling, you think, this season?
I think you're seeing their ceiling, honestly. you're not getting the best version of the Raptors tonight. RJ Barrett's not playing, and RJ has been the difference between the Raptors offense being watchable and the Raptors offense being a mess. They will always pass the ball. Whether those passes lead to good production is something that is completely up to the guys playing. Emmanuel Quickly is also out. So the Raptors have a rough offensive lineup starting. That being said, Brandon Ingram is playing, and Brandon Ingram looks like an all-NBA player when he sees the LA Clippers. We're going to see if that translates north of the border. This is the first time he's playing the Clippers this season, and he didn't play the Clippers at all last season. But the Raptors, I did not have high expectations for them. I thought they'd be an average team. They're a good team, and they're a good team because they defend well and because Darko is a really good coach in terms of what he emphasizes. But besides all that, man, I will say you have to be ready to play this team. They are a very special team when it comes to how they defend, how they move the ball, and the pace that they play at.
He is Law Murray of The Athletic. Follow him at Law Murray, the NU. Find him internationally. He's in Toronto for this one. Last arena on his bucket list to check off. Law, enjoy the ball game. I'm sorry Kawhi Leonard's not giving it a go for you, but we'll see you back here in the States next week, my friend.
All right, thank you. Enjoy the games, everybody.
Quick time out here on Clippers Countdown as we get set for the Clippers and Raptors. Tip-off 16 minutes away. We'll get your driver on the league next. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Raptors from Toronto. Tip-off just about 14 minutes away here on Clippers Countdown. Let's get to your keys to victory in just a little bit. But first, your drive around the league. It's brought to you by Toyota. It's the Here and Now sales event at your Toyota dealer. The clock is ticking. Don't wait to grab a great deal on a new Toyota. We make it easy. A couple of games have tipped off in the association early in first quarters there. But later on tonight in Sacramento, where the Kings have been playing a little bit better, they're still 11-30. They'll be hosting the Washington Wizards. Rockets welcoming in the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have made their way into the top four in the Western Conference. 7-3 their last 10 games. Julius Randle 22, 7, and 6 assists on the season. And meanwhile, the Rockets have come back to the pack a little bit. Haven't looked quite the same out there. Bulls and Nets will be tipping off in just a little bit in Brooklyn. Right now in Indianapolis, Pacers and Pelicans tied up at 15 with 7:39 left in the first quarter. Pascal Siakam already with 11 of their 15 points. Zion Williamson with 8 of the Pels' 15 points. Coming up next, back to Carlo Jimenez. Back to Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Clippers and Raptors tip off 13 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip off 10 minutes away. Let's go back to Carlo Jimenez from Scotiabank Arena. Carlo, how are the Toronto Raptors' biggest reason why they're a top 4 team right now in the Eastern Conference?
Defense, Adam. Defense is the biggest reason why they're a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. They were 19th in the league last year in defensive rating. They are 4th this season in defensive rating. They are excellent on the defensive end, and that has been a huge reason why they have been so good. It has been kind of a roller coaster season for them, Adam, though. They started 14-5. They went 3-8. They're 8 for their last 4. So they're kind of on the upswing the last couple of games. They've been a great defense in transition and in the paint. The Clippers are going to have to be excellent in those areas against the Raptors.
And while we focus, of course, naturally so on the Clippers injuries, the Raptors have some injuries going on too in this ball game with some guys and trade rumors that are swirling. Who do we need to be paying attention to in this ball game?
It starts with Brandon Ingram on the offensive end, arguably having his best season of his career, Adam. He was an all-star in 2019-2020, but it's his first time since that all-star season he's averaging 20 points and 6 rebounds. Remember, he was traded for at the deadline last year and then signed a 3-year, $120 million extension to stay here in Toronto and is on pace to play the most games of his NBA career. This is a guy who's missed numerous games. In fact, in his first 9 seasons, 5 of those, he has missed 20 or more games. He's played all but 2 contests this year for the Toronto Raptors. So playing a lot more for Toronto is Brandon Ingram. And then when the Clippers are on offense, somebody's got to make sure Jamal Shead doesn't come up with turnover after turnover. He's been a physical, intense, excellent defender. Ty Lue said pregame that he draws offensive fouls for moving screens second most in the NBA. Now, Ty did not tell us who's number 1, but what that lets you know is Jamal Shead is going to play up. He's going to play in the body. He wants to play physical, and he's going to stay step for step. So the Clippers screeners, Yannick and Zubac, have to be careful when it comes to Jamal Shed on that side of the ball.
God, I hope his nickname is Tough Shed, because I remember those commercials back in the 90s where you'd have like a motorcycle on top of the shed, showing how tough it was. It wouldn't crumble underneath all that weight. All right, back to the Clippers here. We know the guys that are out. No Kawhi Leonard in this one. James Harden, though, the scoring's been down a little bit. The efficiency's been down a little bit while Kawhi Leonard has been on this run. Maybe an opportunity for James Harden to get in rhythm offensively with him more of the focal point tonight.
I like that idea, Adam. I feel like with James Harden, you're going to need to see his offensive execution. The Clippers are going to have him really stir the engine. 6th in the league in assists at 8 per game. One of just 4 players averaging 25 or 8 assists. So for the Clippers, can you find a way to get James Harden going offensively? And then, this is a Toronto team, as Law mentioned, they're having a little bit of issue at center position. Jakob Poeltl has not played in quite some time, and they have a smaller center in Colin Murray-Boyles. Can Ivica Zubac punish the 6'7" center on the other side for the Toronto Raptors? The Clippers are going to need that to happen today.
My player to watch in this one, not Zubac returning, but John Collins returning. They could use more of his scoring that he had been showing the last few weeks before he was out last game. Who's your player to watch for the Clippers, Carlo?
That's a great pick, Adam. You're going with John Collins coming off the bench today. I'm going to go with this might be unfair, but I'm doing it.
Wait a second.
Starting Kobe Sanders. Because Kobe Sanders, when he starts, he gets buckets. And I'm going with Kobe Sanders, averaging 13 in his 5 starts. Got to be big for the Clippers. Look at us. Neither of us took Zoo on a game in which they're going to need him. Interesting.
You know what? You're right. I should switch mine to.
No, wait a second.
All right. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Coming up next, we will get to your keys to victory. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Tip-off moments away. Let's get to your keys to victory. We just talked about it a little bit with Carlo Jimenez, who's on the call. But James Harden has an opportunity to really get going and take the majority of the shots. If he didn't know he had a green light without Kawhi Leonard out there tonight, he certainly does. And he has been struggling from the field. If you look at his shooting percentages in January, just at 39% from the floor, 30% from the outside, still getting 24 per game. and he's had 8.4 assists to 2.9 turnovers, but they need more of his scoring and more efficiency out there. It's been spotty the last 3 weeks just from that efficiency scoring rate with James Harden. So it's an opportunity for him to put him up and get him going early on in the first quarter. And then defensively, it's not going to be easy because the Raptors are a top 5 defense in this league and have been really all season long. That's where they hang their hat. So the Clippers do have to basketball, something they've done a good job of the last 3 weeks. They're 9th in turnover percentage, but you can't have those lackadaisical turnovers and live ball turnovers leading to easy buckets by a Raptors team that's very good in transition with that transition defense out there. This Clippers team has to be aware of that because while they've been good overall, top 10 team when it comes to cutting down on the turnovers lately, they still have had a few outlier games here and there where they've had 20-plus turnovers, like when they were in Detroit last time out on the road last week. Clippers from Scotiabank Arena taking on the Raptors. And coming up next, Carlo Jimenez is on the call for tip-off. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.